Right now you're checking out Pyro Radio. This Monday night with me, Jay Fresh. We call the show Jay Fresh and Friends, but it's not about me. It's about artists and producers making the sickest new music and the most exciting new music from the worlds of hip-hop and grime. Now on the phone line, because that's how we do interviews these days, I've got Professor Paws. What's happening, bro?
Yeah, out here. Thank you. Good. How are you? How you doing?
Yeah, really, really good, man. Obviously, we're on the phone, so I can't see where you are. Can you describe your settings to me right now?
I'm actually in the studio, so I've got a studio in my own house. So I'm always there, if you know what I mean. Don't really leave it, sleep it, wake
sleep
up
in it, eat in it, all of that. Wicked.
Yeah. So yeah. Just my nice place in my studio. Happy. You know what I mean? It's sunny outside. I might get out there, but yeah, I'm here now.
This is the thing, bro. I'm trying not to look out the window. I'm doing interviews and recording shows, and it's like 30 odd degrees out there. There's people having ice creams, playing around in the park, and I'm like, no, I've just got to try and keep the work going, keep that tunnel vision.
Yeah, trust me. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, we're good, man. So first and foremost, how are you finding life at the moment? The new normal, the lockdown, quarantine, whatever the right words are. How are you finding life for you at the moment?
It's a bit weird. It's different. I'm finding it a lot harder to stay indoors all the time, but I'm abiding. I'm an abiding citizen. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird time, isn't it? Like I don't think anyone was ever prepared for this. As an artist, you're never prepared for it either. Like it's a bit weird. Like normally you lock yourself up to make music, but you're locking yourself up all the time now, if that makes sense.
Are you finding your productivity, again, because you've got that set up studio-wise, are you finding your productivity's like gone through the roof, or is it just kind of where it normally is at?
It's a bit of an interesting one. I think like it's up and down. I think because I handle the business side of things as well. I find myself more productive on the business side of things, but when it comes to creativity, when you're forced to be in an environment and you're forced into a box, it's harder to be creative, in my opinion anyway. Like, so yeah, it's a bit up and down.
Yeah, definitely, man. And obviously part of the new normal, especially as a musician, as a creative, as a freelancer, is that you are starting to kind of learn things about yourself. You know, you've kind of got a period bit of time to reflect maybe on the career, on your direction. Maybe people are kind of getting more in contact with the family members, you know, with the Zoom calls and calls and things like that. So have you learned things about yourself now that life's a little bit different?
Yeah, I learned that I can do a better Zoom call these days. I weren't really into it before, but now I can put on a little show, you know, I can get in a call and have some fun. But yeah, I think overall, probably, I think I've done a lot of learning, if I'm honest with you, over the last couple of years anyway. So, I don't think it's not taught me leaps and bounds, but yeah, it's helped me be a bit more digital when it comes to video calls. I shy away from it a bit. I'm not going to lie to you. So social media wise, I'm not really on live all the time and all that stuff. I like my privacy in the same respect. So.
Well, that's an interesting point because, as you know, a producer, an artist, someone who's got many areas of creative kind of talent. You definitely seem more comfortable kind of a little bit more behind the scenes. Some people like to be super visible in what they're doing. Is that kind of always been the case, or as you've mentioned there, is that something you're kind of coming out from a little bit?
That's facts anyway. Yeah, it's a good shout out. Yeah, I'm always, I like to let my music talk. I mean, I think I see a lot of artists where, not to be rude or diss anyone, but I see them clout chasing a lot, and I'm not that guy. Like, for me, it's cringy. Like, I just come from an era where there's Mysterio. I think I was watching an interview actually the other day where Dr. Dre was like, right, like the whole social media age is different. It takes away from the artist element where there's that Mysterio element.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So that's me. Like, I'm from that. Those are the people that I watched, like, doing their thing. Like, I'm not a young 17-year-old, but I'm not old, if you know what I mean. So it's a bit different. Like, I'm halfway there. Like, I'm halfway there in terms of social media stuff, but I'm not on it all the time. And obviously there's a certain element to me exposing where I am all the time as well. I can't really do that.
Yeah.
Bit mad. Yeah.
But I mean, again, this is why I ask questions like this, because everyone has their own journey, everyone has their own outlook on things, and we're here talking about you and your career. So if that's the way it works for you and how you conduct yourself, then that's only right, because you're doing what's right and natural to you. That's really important, man.
Yeah. I was saying this the other day, actually. I often have, I think lockdown, if you're talking about what I've learned to just speak more, like have conversations with people. And I was saying the other day that, it's an interesting thing, man. I think you just got to keep pushing, keep talking about things, and just working out where you're headed and who you are as a person, because you can never stand out from the crowd, but from trying to fit in with the crowd, trying to beat other people.
No, it's wise words there. So let's bring it back to music now. You've been involved in music, producing, getting heavily involved with ideas since a very young age. I read since the age of 14. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Wow.
Time, man.
So for you, I'm not going to bait you up by asking your age, but I am going to say, from that very young age, what were those kind of real early influences, or was there a standout moment that made you go, I want to be involved in music? What was that story for you?
Actually, so I've always, me and my older brother, he manages me, Missing Link Music. He's the guy. Like we've always been. So we used to watch. My main influences were like Michael Jackson, Timbaland,
Legends,
Pharrell, Neptunes. Yeah, all of that music there. So when I used to watch them, they used to be so creative with putting their mouth sounds in their beats and just being all that creative, like thinking outside of the box. Timbaland with the bounce. Like, so we used to watch them. We used to be like, like we used to sing like in the car and on a road trip, maybe with my mum. We used to be beatboxing and just rapping together, like one of us, interchangeably. Sick. Like those people were kind of the core background, the core influence. My mum used to play guitar as well. She was always like very talented, different things. She was very creative. God bless her soul. That's where it started. And then when I was in school, I just accidentally stumbled into a room where I saw some producers like getting gas over some beats, and not to send shots. I thought they were kind of whack, and I was just like, bro,
I could do better than this. What are you getting gassed for?
Yeah, and they had fans in it. They had fans at school. I was like, bro, like you lot fanning over beats that not that great in it. So I was like, what are you lot using? Like I started doing a bit of investigation, found out they were using Reason, so I just jumped on it. Within 2-3 months, I stole the limelight. I'm not going to lie to you, like not being gassed, but
love that.
Yeah, that's where it started.
Now it's good to hear. That's a dope story, man. I love that. Like, I'm having that limelight. That's me. I love that. For someone who has been involved in music for so long, you've had a long run so far, and there's still lots more to come. What do you think is the best piece of advice you've been given?
If I'm honest with you, I haven't really been given advice specifically. I've always been navigating my way around myself. I feel like the music industry is you either have a good mentor or you don't, and you're in the dark. And I was one of those people that was very much in the dark. I fed off of what I heard from other people I was around. I was around some relevant people, but I never had like a mentor. So I've always been figuring my way around. I'm still figuring my way around. The whole artist side is new to me, but it's not that new anymore because I've been working it, if you know what I mean. So it's different being an artist as to being a producer. Like you got to learn things again, innit? You start from square one, and I'm always hungry to learn. I was nicknamed Professor Paws, not myself. I used to call myself Paws Productions because I was a producer, and someone was just like Professor Paws because they know I like to learn. Like I always come with something new. So I'm just always hungry to learn new things, and I think that's what keeps me going. That's what made me make the transition. If I'm honest with you, like I was just curious. Like curiosity's always brought me back to doing something bigger and better. If you know what I mean.
But that's real interesting as part of your journey, because having that hunger and wanting to learn new things is so important within music. A lot of people they get complacent, or they think, I know everything now. And that's where I feel you start to drop off massively. You've got to be open-minded to pick up new sounds, new trends, and then kind of see that and perhaps apply that in your own way in your journey. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we talk about, as an artist, kind of recently, you're starting to get that momentum of tracks, Lost My Mind, My Way, Ride or Die, and it leads us into the new one, the big collaboration with Young Saber. So talk to us about that track.
What, like how it came around?
Yeah, man. I'm always interested in how that came around, or specific messages you're trying to get across in the music, in the track.
Yeah. So I'll touch both points. How it came around is how my tracks always come around. Is I'll just be in my studio and I'll be making music and I'll be like, raw, like I think this one needs that person. But that one specifically, I had a few rappers in mind that I'm connected to. And I was like, that track specifically needed Young Saber. We're from roughly the same areas. Like Missing Link obviously knows Young Saber from back in the day, from the era as well. So it made sense. Like I'm talking, the message of the track is I'm just talking about where I came from. I've come a long way from where I was. I was just like every other kid growing up in the end. And I've made some phenomenal progress in terms of where I am, the person I am today, and how much I've achieved. So that track was just kind of just showing respect to the fact that I've not forgotten everyone. Like as much as I want to, I leave the hood. I've not forgotten the hood, and I love everyone in there, and I hope for prosperity for everyone in there as well. So that's just me shedding light on, right, this is what happened, but from a little bit more of a commercial perspective, and just saying, yeah, like I made it out. If you listen to my verse, and like, I made it out of the dungeon like I was never there. Like that's the way it feels like now. It feels like I was never there, but I can't forget my humble beginnings. If you know what I mean?
Definitely. And accompanying the track as well, you've got a video. It's a real clean video, very clean. Yeah. I'm loving the look of that. 85 odd K upwards in terms of views in like a week. Are you a numbers guy? Are you happy with the reception so far? How do you view the visual side of your music?
So the video, the video is great. Like that's by my guy, my older bro. It's not my Mr. Link, my older bro, but I call him my older bro. That's Chaz. He's been in the game for a very long time.
Yes.
He's done some very big acts. So that's the reason the video is so clean. In terms of numbers, I am a numbers guy because I'm a businessman. So numbers make a difference. I want to see engagement. I want to see that people are liking the music. I want to see we're headed in the right direction. So my numbers mean a lot to me. So I'll always, for the time being, I'll be chasing those numbers personally.
Sick. Good insight, man. And again, as a creative, as someone who is very passionate about your craft, the visual, now you've got, the artist hat on. The visual is something you can really get involved in and really develop and kind of paint a picture that goes with your tracks. So how hands-on are you with the visual element of what you're doing? The videos and stuff.
I'm hella hands-on.
I knew you would be.
So I do everything really. Like so, videos. Obviously, I'm gonna outsource that. I'm not an expert at making videos, but between me and my brother, we'll work with a video person who's shooting for us. Artwork. I design all my artwork myself.
Sick.
I design all of my social media stuff as well. Like anything you see, I do it myself. I've only ever outsourced artwork once. That was for Ride or Die. It was a dope design, but I felt some type of way even paying for it, if I'm honest with you, because I have the skills to do it myself. So, yeah, I'm doing the 360. I have to, innit? Like, if you believe in your vision, you believe in your goal, you got to do everything within your hands to achieve it. You can't let that sit in the fate of other people. And I think that's something I learned from being a producer. I think that's why I fell out of love with it, because I always felt like my fate was in the hands of other people. And I'm not a follower. I'm more of a leader. I like to just go and get it. Like that's always what I say to people. I just want to go and get it. So I just do. If there's something that needs to be done, I will do it. That's just.
No, it's sick, man. And this is exactly why I love connecting with people in interviews and stuff like this, because people can listen to your journey and your messaging. And I'm constantly saying to artists and people who ask me, I'm like, learn to do as much as you can. You don't have to be a master at everything. Like, for example, you might not shoot your own videos, but you might have a good kind of directorial sense of saying, well, this isn't quite right, or I've seen this happen, or maybe let's look at it this way. Because one of the things, as you said early on in the interview, if you've got no mentor or management around you from a young age, and you could argue a lot of people don't quite need that till they're at a certain point, you don't know the answers. But what you do is, with the mistakes that you make, you learn. So you're getting all that information, all that knowledge, which means that's value. that you've got, not only in your career and your products and services, but in other people. You might start developing the record label and bringing a few more people, and you can direct them in the right way. And this is my guy about graphics. This is my guy for visuals. This is the guy for mastering. So yeah, man, that's real deep insight. As an artist, are you ever going to be looking at a larger body of work, or is it just singles game for now on?
I have work ready to go. I can release a large body of work now, but I kind of, because as we were talking about, I don't have a mentor. I kind of work off of gut feel. I'm trying to work off of what needs to be next, and I set my goals. I set my targets. I achieve them, and then we move on. It's more of like an iterative process. Like at the moment of time, I can drop maybe a large, well, maybe not now, but not long ago, I could have dropped a large body of work and it would have just bombed. Like it wouldn't have got the attention it needed. So for me, it's about working up to that larger body of work. I have the opposite mentality than a lot of artists do. Some like up and coming artists, should I say? A lot of up and coming artists are like, yeah, like I want to make an album. The amount of times I've heard someone say, I want to make an album, or they've made an album and they don't get any traction because you haven't set the foundation to get your traction.
Now I hear that, man. Timing is very important, as is the strategy, because a lot of people can just fling out a track, fling out a project, and it's more hope than expectation. They're hoping that it's going to pop. They're hoping it's going to be the viral hit, and then they start chasing the sound or chasing that clout, like you mentioned, or getting involved in things that just they lose the direction and focus, man. So that's definitely not going to happen in your case. I know that. So thank you so much for joining us here today at Pyro Radio. Just before you go, I think it's really important that we play your brand new record. If you could introduce it to us, please.
Yeah. This is Professor Paws. You're now going to listen to my brand new record, Rum Papa Pum, featuring Young Saber, talking about some real stuff, some real gritty stuff, but at the end of the day, it's all positive. I hope you like it. Listen up.